Emma's Universe podcast. Emma's Universe podcast.
Hello and welcome to Emma's Universe podcast. Happy Friday, people. Can I help myself, or can I say naughty Emma? So, what are we going to be talking about? The art of letting go without losing ourselves. Yes, let's get started. And I think I covered this before, but I like to continue to explore those topics that I'm covering. So, letting go is one of the hardest human experience, whether it's releasing a relationship, a dream, a role, or even an identity. It can feel like losing part of ourselves. But what if letting go isn't about loss? What if it is about making room for who we truly are? Yes, so today I want to explore the art of letting go without losing ourselves. Let's get started. And I think it's a good topic because we experience at some point in our lives losses. And when we're facing those, it can be heartbreaking, very painful as well, to go through the process. So I want to talk about that topic today on a Friday, yippee-ki-yay. Okay? Now, the difference between letting go and giving up. Yeah, let's talk about that. Many of us confuse letting go with giving up, but they are very different. Giving up comes from exhaustion, despair, or fear. Okay, when you cannot moving forward, you let go. You're giving up. You won't let go. You're giving up. You're done. Finito Michelito. Now, letting go comes from wisdom. Is the recognition that holding on is costing us more than releasing. Let go is not a defeat. It's strength. It's choosing peace over struggle. Yes. And letting go comes also in a way that we decide what is best for ourselves. I could talk, but I wrote about, and it's on my website actually. Taylor Swift writes her breakup stories and her adventures via her song. I do it via my blogs. And it's on my, I think it's edgintuitive.com. Yeah, edgintuitive.com. I got one of them that I told the story, which was pretty, when you think about it, it's like, holy crap, what was wrong with me? Well, that night of the soul, what was wrong with me? But having the wisdom to realize when things don't work. Because a lot of things is to really be honest with our own selves, and I think this is one of the biggest things, and the awareness that when things don't work, recognize when it doesn't work. Most people will continue into a relationship or a job or whatever until there is nothing left for them, literally. And we're talking about the cost of holding on right now. We hold on because we fear emptiness, and I think that this is so true. When you let go of a relationship, or you let go of work, when you're holding on to it, when you're not letting it go, because I'm saying like when you let go, it's not when you're, and it's the same when you're letting go, but when you hold on to it for dear life, it's because we're afraid of the grieving, we're afraid of the loss, we're afraid of that emptiness, because nothing worse than an emptiness we can feel inside of our heart. We cling to roles, people, or dream long after they have served their purpose. But holding on can, number one, drain your energy. Two, keep you trapped in a cycle of pain over and over and over and over. Three, prevent new opportunities for entering. And this is so freaking true. I've been there, done that. All right? Sometimes the bravest things you can do is to unclench your fist and trust that life will fill your open hands again. And that is I think the hardest thing for people to do is to let it go, to remove what is the object of hurt out of our lives. Because that emptiness that will come afterwards, the grieving process, I think the grieving process is the hardest part. Maybe feeling like a failure. Maybe feeling like we're a bunch of losers, which is not the case. We have to look at the bigger picture in that story. And the bigger picture is that the signs are there when it's time to let it go. It is. It's always there. The flags are always there, and we ignore them. I've been there. I've done that. I have done it. Am I going to repeat that? Freak no. But I have done it, like everybody else is. And you're looking at it, and you don't want, because maybe you don't want to be by yourself. I have heard people in the past say, I'm not going to divorce that person, even though it's the worst person in the world for them, because they did not want it to restart their life. Because it's more convenient to be with somebody else's where we're unhappy. It could be the same at work, where we have outgrown the job and we're supposed to be moving on to something else, and we're not doing it because it means that we're putting ourselves into the unknown and we're comfortable where we are. Even if we're miserable, if we hate the job, I hate my job, blah, blah, blah. And people are like, okay, but why are you still there? Well, for the paycheck, and because I'm afraid. I'm afraid that if I go, I'm not going to find something else better. I'm afraid because I'm so accustomed to what I have here. That's the problem. So you have to learn, and I share that story. As I say, it's on my Billy Bobber on my website, on my Billy Bobber website. I will remember that last ride that I had with this individual, and I knew it was the end because I know it was the end of my career already, and I know, and I said to Jay, I said, you and God, give me that freaking exit, because if I don't leave now, that's going to be my downfall. And when I said downfall, that would have been, no more am I at the end of the day, basically. I would have destroyed or imploded myself. So, when I did that ride, and we went to Jody, I came back, I used to say, we're done. We're done. But in the car, I didn't say that, and I'm putting my hands up, which is funny. And I said, I am done. Not we're done. I am done. And that was extremely powerful. And I noticed that immediately. I didn't say we, I said I. I said yeah. And I was done. And by the next morning, I was gone with the pups, never to return. But it took that moment, and I knew it. I absolutely knew it. I saw it coming, and I was wise enough to say, no, we're done here, or I am done here. That situation here is done. It's sealed, wrapped with a bow, have a nice day, off you go. Again, a lot of people will be worried to do that because this means changing the way things are, and some people don't like and don't want to change things the way they are. I'm looking at that. But we have to be honest with our own self. If this doesn't work, let it go, because things that doesn't serve us take space in our life. It doesn't allow anything to come in, because if you did not put the garbage out, then how can you get new things in? Seriously. So the question is, how do you practice for letting go? Because there is a practice. One, grieve honestly. Let go involves loss. And allow ourselves, and I think this is the hardest part, is what people don't want to feel. Feel the loss, feel the pain, feel that anger deep inside to realize that, what the frick was I thinking? And let it go. Don't try to go back and run towards that person or whatever you're running towards it. Just stop yourself and realize that letting go, you have to grieve. This is a life lesson learned. I learned mine. I learned a lot, but I learned mine. And I'm like, I'm not going back to that hoot nanny. Are you freaking kidding me? Block all of the communication, block the phone, block social media, block everything. We're done. You don't exist anymore. You're the past. So let me grieve, and then I can move on. The grief can last from a month to 6 months, and I know some people get upset because, oh, well, I broke up with that person, and they went and blah, 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 and immediately got somebody else's. Who cares, honey, okay? Let him repeat what he wants to repeat. It doesn't matter. Let it be. Let it go. Heal at your own pace. Learn what you got to learn, and when you're ready to go back into the dating world, I'm going to talk about the dating world right now, then you know what you don't want. So you're aware and you want to experience something new and different and better. Now, create rituals. Write a letter you never send. Burn it, bury it, or release it into water. Ritual marks closure. It's true. Write a letter. You can do a video as well and delete it afterwards. Whatever works. Reclaim identity, and I think this is the biggest thing too. Remember who you are more than what you lost. Anchor yourself in values, not roles. So when we're dealing with relationships, we have a tendency, if we don't keep our identity, to be basically merged with somebody else's. And some part of our identity are being tamed. Then it's time to reclaim who you are. Reclaim your power. It's time to heal. It's time to decide what you want to do and reinvent yourself. Why not? Life is open for reinvention, so why not taking that leap of faith and do it? And also trust the unknown. Letting go is a vote of faith in what's ahead. And I must say, with all of the transformation I've gone through for the past 2 years, it's been amazing to be on the other side and looking and smiling and say, you know what, that was, I don't know if it was worth it to go through the dark night of the soul, but at least I'm in a place where I have more faith on things that are changing and moving in the correct direction and enjoying it to what it was before. Because you transform yourself. You're peeling the layers out. You're creating your own self. Now, when you lost your identity or you're grieving your identity, like I have done with mine, when the fire came, I did grieve who I was. My entire world got upside down, and everything that I knew to that point was gone in flame or underwater. Mostly not much flame, but it was the water, the gallons and gallons of waters. But it really brought me to a space where opportunity came and said, it's time for me to reinvent myself. I didn't went back to who I was. I stepped in and said, it's time for me to move to the next level and reinvent myself, create who I am, and move up. And that's the opportunity you've got when you let it go. Holding on, you will realize you create more pain, sorrow, damage to your own self, like a self-punishment that is unnecessary, adding more pain, more headache for yourself that is necessary. But when you see, and you will see it, it's a question of do you want to act on it? But when you're truly done and it's time to move on, recognize when it is. I always knew for when I worked in different places when it was time for me to go. I always knew it. Relationship-wise, I saw it coming. I knew it. Some decisions that I made, I must recognize that, were not for my highest good. Any hoo-hoo. Because of the intention that were behind it. And looking at the overall to where I'm at today, I can really recognize that when it's time for me to go and to let it go. There is nothing that I have a regret than I learned to let go. Give up is a different story. It's based on the wrong intentions. But when it's time to let go, you know it is, and you are at peace. And you walk away, even though you might feel the pain, the grieving, the loss, there is a sense of peace within you that is there. And you don't question these 25 times at all. So that's the beauty of it. And that's why it's so interesting when you go through the process that you realize how much growth you've got, because the priority at the end of the day is you. It's not the other person or the job or whatever it is. It's you. You have to take care of yourself. If you're on a self-destruction path because of someone or something, then you need to remove yourself from that equation. Is it easy to do? Maybe, maybe not. But you got the courage to do it. That means you already started to save yourself. Remember that the only person that can save yourself is your own self. So instead then being in a cycle that keeps on repeating worse and worse and worse, stepping out of that cycle will help you. Things will change. And you will be amazed by the time a year from now that you'll look back and say, holy crap, what a transformation, and I'm in a better place than I thought I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Every ending carries the seed of a beginning. Let go doesn't mean losing yourself. It doesn't mean that. It means finding ourselves in a new way. Releasing with courage, release with trust, and watch what unfolds when your hands are free to receive again. Because this is what it is. It's opening ourselves to a place that we should have been there in the first place as well. So let go of what doesn't serve you and bet on your own self. You'll be impressed and surprised how much magic the universe has and what comes next when you go through the healing and the loss and finally focus on really what do you want to do in your life, because the goal at the end of the day is what do you want to do in your life. Nothing else matters more than this. So guys, for Friday, learn to let go. Don't give up, but let go. A lot of people don't do it, and they're still paying the price of the pain. So if you hear this one, and you're in a place where you need to let it go, just go and do those steps. Nothing else is more precious than your own light, and you're here to shine it brightly. All my love, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.
Universe podcast. Universe podcast. Leaders Podcast.